Hi everyone, Elite Assassin here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new system that Overwatch just added. Now, my last video I mentioned I was going to be doing replay reviews for games like Overwatch, Gears, and Halo, and since then I know it's been a little quiet. Well, one of the reasons it's been so quiet is because right after I made that video, Overwatch announced they're going to be adding the role queue system to Overwatch. So I didn't really want to put any gameplay out there. I figured instead of having to use my alt account, I could actually now use my main account with the way they're doing this. And I just wanted to wait for this to come out so I could start doing replay reviews in the most current system. Now, for those of you who don't follow Overwatch, what the role queue system is the game is going to be enforcing a 2-2-2 format. What that means is 2 DPS, 2 tanks, 2 healers, every game from now on. Now, some people might kind of groan that this has negative consequences on the game. As someone who's been playing Overwatch for over 2 years, I have to say I understand that there might be some downfalls, but the overall positives, I believe, just far outweigh the negatives in this system. So many times you'd be playing ranked and you'd have 1 tank or 1 healer and 3 DPS. You wouldn't have a shield tank, and your team comp would just almost make it possible to win if the other team had a good team comp and were decent at it. Even if you were the same rank, it would just really hinder you because you wouldn't always get people who were good at the roles you needed them to be. And it wasn't fair to ask someone who's more of a DPS player to jump in the role of tank. Because yes, they're playing tank, but they're not really good at tank. They're not at your level of tank. So now, what they're doing is when you hit a competitive, you will have the option of choosing one of 3 different kinds of roles: tank, support, or DPS. And if you're solo, you could choose all 3 if you want to and queue up, but you'll get put into just one of them. When you get into your match, you will only be able to choose the heroes for that specific role that you got into the match for. So if I'm queued for tank, I can just pick Reinhardt, Orisa, Sigma's actually in there now, Roadhog, things like that. I can't pick any DPS characters, I can't pick any healers, just what I queued for. And you're going to have different skill ratings depending on the role you choose. So your tank might be a silver level, but your DPS might be a diamond. And you'll be able to queue with those. So it's not forcing this diamond DPS to play tank because nobody else wants to. No. If that player wants to play tank, he could play at his level. And I think it's just an overall great system. It allows you to grow, at the level your role is without taking you out of your comfort zone. So, to me, this is great. This is something my friend and I were trying to do on our own. We were trying to just, for one season queue this, one season queue that, and it really didn't go well. We often felt we still had a flex to help the team, and it was very frustrating. But now we get to see, okay, which is our best, our support, our DPS, or our tank. And now we can actually see the numbers, see the stats. So, it's awesome. And I just want to let everyone know that this is now in Overwatch. In between this and the replay system, if you stepped away from Overwatch for a while, I would highly recommend coming back now because it's in a really good place. These systems are really fun and will allow for a lot more headache-free Overwatch. Now, don't get me wrong, there will still always be levers, there will still always be throwers. You just can't help that. Any online game you play nowadays, unfortunately, has tons of levers. If many of my fans come from Gears and Halo, you guys know that more than anybody. It's bad. But when it comes to the Overwatch problems of making people go into roles they don't want to, and allowing just weird comps to go crazy, this is a great change. For those of you, I love the Overwatch League, and for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with it, there was a meta called GOATS, which has been basically dominating this entire season of Overwatch. And all it was GOATS mirrors. 3 tanks, 3 support. There were barely any damage dealing characters played at all until the 3rd stage of the season. And while it wasn't bad to watch in my opinion, it wasn't very flashy. It was more just everyone walking into each other until they got their ultimates and then one team would win the war of attrition over the other, and that's that. And it was getting a bit stale. So at least now it's forcing this out. It's forcing a lot of heroes to be played. You know, actually counter-picking heroes you're going against is important. It adds a little more strategy. And also the limitations kind of force a bit of creativity on you. You know, when you're playing, if you notice a forest during your team and you're on DPS, you know, you can now swap to Widow without having to worry. Or it actually would be a good play. Or McCree or Soldier. You're going to have to force yourself to make the right choices. And there's tons of other examples I've been giving, but overall this is a good system, and I was really excited about it. I just got done with my support placements. I placed a little bit under where I ended last year, like 2172 I think, which is gold. So lower end of gold, kind of sad about that, but you know what? Some of those matches I had really weren't great, really weren't that splashy stat-wise, so got some work to do, but hey, you know, it is what it is, and I'll be having a lot of matches to give you guys. I can give you guys specific, you know, reviews of support, reviews of tank, reviews of DPS. I can now break it down into more specific role reviews, which for me is awesome. That's kind of what I wanted to do with this series to begin with, but now I can with the role queue added into the game. So besides that, you know, I'm sorry I did not give you guys my Outpost Philly video. Unfortunately, work has just been very busy. A lot of people made really good videos on Outpost Philly, and I didn't really get much video, unfortunately, and just got some basically like photo props. But I might do a really quick video about it later on, just to kind of give my opinion on it, because there still are other events going on this year, and I do highly recommend, if you're a Halo fan, you can go to them, because it was a really good time. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. You can expect a video from me later this week, and hopefully no later than Friday night. And then from then on, I'll get back to, you know, some Halo, and I do have some Gears gameplay from the tech test, a little bit to play, so I might throw some of that up there too with the commentary. But anyway, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later.